Welcome back, horror fans. Pumpkin Claw here. We are in the age of sequels, reboots, and remakes. Like it or not, this is the mode of Hollywood, designed to capitalize and guarantee box office returns. Though some are unnecessary and pretty bad, there have been many that give due credence to their predecessor. Remakes and sequels is an acquired taste, so if we disagree on which are good and which are bad, then obviously we are horror fans. I have an idea for a sequel to a classic movie monster, The Blob. The original 1958 The Blob is a cornerstone of classic horror starring Steve McQueen. Then we received a poor sequel in the 1972 Beware the Blob. Funny how that one is never truly mentioned. In 1988, horror fans were treated to an amazing remake with Kevin Dillon and Shawnee Smith, adding more flavor and backstory to the monster, incorporating, at the time, modern special effects, which evolved the alien that first appeared over 30 years prior into something evil and to be feared. A remake has been in the works or developmental hell for over 10 years now, with the likes of Rob Zombie attached to direct and true to Hollywood production changing hands over and over again, until recently with IMDb listing Simon West to direct and Samuel L. Jackson to star. My concept for this video is not to argue who to direct a future Blob movie or who to star in it. Jackson was good for his role in Kong Skull Island, and even though I could prefer a real horror environment with a suitable director such as Carpenter or maybe David Fincher, if they are going to turn it into an action movie, then so be it. The mechanic did have its dark side, and am not to judge West before he even gets to work. I think though that if they are going to bring the Blob back to screen, it should not be a remake but a sequel to the 1958 version. Even though I am an obsessed fan of the 80s and greatly enjoyed the ending to the 1988 version, with a good reverend holding up a glass jar containing a segment of the flesh-eating Blob and his obscure doomsday prophecy, I think that truly the 1958 ending, with the government dropping the frozen Blob into the North Pole, leaving the audience with nothing more than the giant question mark, would be perfect to continuation point. First off, even after all these years, it is still an eerie ending, telling us nothing and making the audience guess for themselves what comes next. Movie begins with dramatically melting poles from ever-increasing global changing, dramatically altering the topography of the uppermost part of our planet. There could even be a nod to the first film with the comparative satellite images of the North Pole from 1958 to 2017. Could have multiple avenues to explore with this plot. The film could take a Harbinger down aspect, with a team on a large scientific vessel taking core samples from the melting shards of ice shelves coming upon the frozen Blob. With the government classifying the events from decades ago, they are none the wiser that what they have come upon is a giant glob of flesh-eating monster. Taking a sample from the mass, they think it could be something interesting form of plankton, only to find this pink substance has an unstoppable hunger that consumes its prey and ever increases its size. Or they could bring it back to mainland. Bring the samples back to a government lab and you have a horror race to seclude and eradicate the creature with a similar setting to The Thing, with the major population of Earth at risk of a total global eradication. Whichever the plot direction, I think that the 1958 ending is a forgotten horror finale gem. I'm a big fan of horror films not ending on a positive note, and there should be some sense of dread left at the ending, leaving moviegoers to feel that not everything is okay, and the original Blob did that perfectly. I feel that if a remake or sequel is inevitable, at least give the first film the respect it deserves by addressing the ambiguous ending that left fans almost 70 years ago thinking, what happens next? What do you think about a Blob remake or sequel? Tell me in the comment section below, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Stay scared.